What's up, guys? Nightwolf88 here, and this evening, because my bed sheets are in the wash right now, so I can't technically go to bed, even though it's roughly around 11 o'clock at night, I've decided to do a short vlog. Um, yeah, so it's been a while since I've sat in this chair and really done a video for you guys. I think I had a hair on my lip. Ugh. The disadvantages of having a mustache and long hair. Well, semi-long hair. Thick hair. It's long to me, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's been a while since I've sat in this chair and really talked to you guys. I just realized it's actually been a while since I've worn these glasses. I usually just wear these whenever I'm reading, or when I'm on my iPad, or gaming, or watching TV, something like that. I occasionally wear them when I'm driving, just to see like small things or things up close. That's what she said. All jokes aside, it's good to finally be able to settle down, whether it's from finding enough time or just waiting for my bed sheets to dry after washing them. So yeah, tonight I thought I would tell you guys a story. We're gonna call this the time I borrowed my mom's car and destroyed one of my closest friends' neighbor's brick mailboxes. That was a fail of an intro or a title, whatever. Tongue twister. Yeah. So much like I just said, um, this story takes place around the time that I just got my license. For those of you guys that know me on a personal level, you'll come to find that I'm a very cautious driver, especially after the events that took place in the story. And I never text and drive. I'm never on my phone. Um, I'm just a really cautious driver. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but being a pretty big car person, and really big on just safety aspects. Yeah. So, dang it, freaking hair was still on my lip. That was awkward. Yeah. So where was I? Yeah, this took place around the time I had just gotten my license. Now, in the state of Mississippi, little fun fact, you can only get your license exactly 365 days or more after getting your learner's permit. And my parents, they had let me drive on my own before, but not really when it was raining and kind of iced over from the winter storms. It had actually, I think, yeah, this took place around winter break of some sort. I can't remember if it was like around, I think it was around Thanksgiving break, as a matter of fact. So, really cold outside. There's water on the roads, which is now iced over because it's like 20 degrees below zero. So, I decided that I would go visit one of my friends who lived a couple neighborhoods over. And the neighborhoods, at least in the area that I live in, mine included, really big suburban areas, which means there are a lot of cul-de-sacs. Now, what's a cul-de-sac? For some of you people that may not know what a cul-de-sac is, it's kind of like a dead end in a neighborhood road, which has some sort of a roundabout kind of area right at the end. Now, there's two ways to get out of a cul-de-sac. Well, three if you count popping it in reverse and just backing your way out. The two logical reasons, or logical ways of getting out of a cul-de-sac when driving is either A, take the roundabout and just loop around and pull right out of the cul-de-sac, or B, pull into someone's driveway, back out, and then get out of the cul-de-sac. So, my friend, I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know if he'll be comfortable with me using his name on my channel or anything like that. But I ended up going into his driveway, right? So I had borrowed my mom's car, and I'd stay at his place for about maybe a good few hours. Well, we were just playing some games. We watched a movie for a while. Um, just basically, just chilling with the bros. Chilled out with his siblings and everything like that. So a few hours went by, and I decided that it was time for me to go home. So I texted my mom that I was on my way home, and I put my phone down. Like I said, I never text and drive. I don't even touch my phone when I'm driving. Yeah, so I put the car in reverse and I started to back out of my friend's driveway. And that was when I would soon come to find that his driveway is a little bit of a slope. You add that with the ice that was on the driveway due to it raining earlier that day, as well as it freezing over. So the brakes on the car weren't as quick and responsive because it would cause the tires to slide a little if he slammed on them. So I wasn't even like pressing the gas pedal. I was just riding the brake down the driveway the whole time in reverse. I remember looking out the back window about like 2 or 3 times, and I noticed that my friend's next door neighbor had a brick mailbox right in his driveway, which was located next to my friend's driveway. So I remember seeing out the corner of my eye this brick mailbox. I looked forward just to make sure that I was straightened up in the driveway with the car, and the next thing I know, bang! Like the car jolted, and I look back. That brick mailbox is nowhere to be seen. We can all guess what happened. So I put the car in park, I turn it off, I jump out the car, and there's bricks everywhere. Like, they're all over the street, my friend's driveway, his neighbor's driveway, the lawn. Bricks are everywhere. The mailbox is no more. So I looked at the car, which surprisingly there was very minimal damage. So even though I make fun of Toyota because they made the Prius and because I hate the Prius and everything, for a Japanese car, it took a mailbox out pretty well at a low speed. It obliterated this brick mailbox right from the foundation. So heads up for you, Toyota, on your horsepower, I guess, or your crappy unresponsive brakes for whenever the roads are iced over. Or maybe it was just that I was kind of a bad driver when I first started out. It could be any of those factors. Anyway, now, around the time that I was assessing the damages for the mailbox and my car, or my mom's car, I noticed a white SUV pulling into the cul-de-sac. And a guy jumped out. So he runs up to me, and he's all like, "Sir, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I just backed into this mailbox. I'm good though." And he's all like, "Okay, cool. Now what the heck did you do to my neighbor's mailbox?" So this was apparently with my friend's other neighbor, and he was just laying into me about it, like, before I could even, like, tell my side of the story, which I guess I can kind of see where he was. I mean, a young guy like me who had just gotten his license, backing into a really nice looking house's brick mailbox. I guess I can kind of see he probably thought that I was like just some hoodlum or something, or some gang member just trying to do some destruction or whatever. I eventually told him what happened, and around that time, my friend came out of the house, and he's like, "Yo, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just went over this with this guy. Um, what should I do?" So around that time, I noticed that my friend's neighbor, who had jumped out of the SUV, was now taking pictures of my face, my car, and the license plate. So I knew that this was going to be going to the authorities, or at least he was planning to do so. So he just looks at me and says, I think you need to get out of here, man. Like, just for your own safety and everyone else's safety. Don't know what he was implying by that. Most likely that I was a really crappy driver. And I was, clearly. I like to think I'm a better driver now, though. But anyway, so I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna leave. So I went home, and there was just a little bit of a crevice, kind of a dent in the rear bumper of my mom's car. The paint wasn't really scratched that badly or anything, you could just barely notice. So I'm thinking, okay, well, my parents will never know about this. It's better to hide this. And this is why I now tell my parents everything, because I know that they'll eventually find out anyway. So, needless to say, about a few hours later, 2 state troopers of Mississippi pull up into my driveway and knock on my door. My mom answers the door before I can, so they explain to her what was going on, and of course, the standard police officer routine. "Young man, can you tell us where you were this afternoon and what you were doing?" And of course, police officers aren't stupid. They're smart people. They just want you to tell them in their own words and make sure that you're not gonna, weasel your way out of it, or try and lie or something. And I respect that. And I kind of have to respect that because Alex is a police officer. Yeah, so shout out to her, my sister. Anyway, so my parents did end up finding out about the whole thing. We ended up taking a ride back to my friend's neighbor's house and looking at the mailbox, which was still where it had been, since I had left. No one decided to pick up any of the bricks. It was a crime scene, basically. Yeah, so I eventually met the owner of the mailbox I had backed into, and he was actually really chill. He was really cool about the whole thing. Don't know if he'll ever see this video, but if he does, once again, I'm really sorry for destroying your mailbox, but at least I replaced it, and hope everything went okay after that. Yeah, so the guy could have pressed charges, but he didn't. I was a really young guy. I'm still a young guy. I was just a really young driver who didn't know exactly what he was doing, so thankfully he was nice enough, not to press charges. And I ended up paying for the mailbox as well as the masonry, which in total cost about $800, maybe a little bit more. So I ended up having to pay that through my own account. I actually helped out the guys that were the bricklayers, the masonry. I ended up helping them and learning how to reconstruct a mailbox and how to haul off the broken pieces from the previous mailbox. So yeah, this whole situation was put behind me and my family and everyone else. And yeah, needless to say, I'm a very careful driver now. I don't go past the speed limit. I always stop at the lights and signs. I pay attention to everything around me. Clearly, especially since now that I have my own personal vehicle, my truck and everything, which, looking at it from my perspective, when you get into a vehicle, you're basically driving a weapon. I mean, there's car accidents every day, there's Grand Theft Autos, there's people that are killed by their own vehicles because they weren't wearing their seatbelt, or they got into a wreck and just got seriously injured and ended up dying, or just got seriously injured and end up paralyzed or something. And this is coming from a really hardcore car guy. I mean, cars are dangerous, guys. Especially throughout the advancements in technology and how vehicles have been made, like throughout the years. I mean, you take something like a 1957 Chevy, compare it to like a Ford Fusion of today, or like a Ford Taurus or something. Your basic car, compare that to a 50s car with all the seat belts, the airbags, crumple zones, support B-pillars. Cars have become a lot safer these days. And yeah, even though I will always have a strong place in my heart for the classic cars, I have a strong place in my heart for modern day, usually sports cars, and American muscle. Yeah, that's why I have a picture of a Dodge Charger on my wall. 1969, not the brand new four-door models. Yeah, so that just about does it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed this story, maybe you can comment down below what you liked about it, and if you want me to do more in the future. Maybe give me a thumbs up for my crappy driving and how it's improved, and because of this situation that's improved. Maybe you guys, if you want, tell me a situation for all of you guys that drive on your own now. I know some of you guys are getting your license soon. I've talked with a few of you guys that live in my town and they're subscribed. The only piece of advice I can add is don't do anything stupid. Yeah. With that being said, guys, be safe, be positive, and with that being said, Matt Wolf 88, out of here.